Mark Gerrard, I can see you in the audience, and that's because you haven't got a mask on, and that's great because it means I can recognise you. I've had difficulty recognising masked men who've been coming in here.
Understandable.
Thank you. Historic Places Trust.
Mayors and councillors, thank you for the opportunity to make this submission. Historic Places Canterbury wishes to acknowledge the work and professionalism of the council's heritage team and request the councillors pass on our appreciation of their work. In addition, we'd like to draw your attention to the Canterbury Stories website, the initiative. Council, we commend the council for funding work on this project. Our initial contacts with the team has been very positive, and we're very sure the project will have strong community support. Of interest is our contacts outside Christchurch have expressed real interest in the initiative. We request this project's funding be continued. We also consider, and sorry for slightly vague, that the council's continual restoration of its earthquake damaged buildings to be a real success. And we'd like the council to pass on our appreciation of those staff. It's now probably in the process of winding down, but it's been going on for some time, but it is an outstanding success from project management right the way, costings, etc., containment, and the way it's been rolled out. It's been a major achievement and something we should be very proud of. Specifically, we'd like the councillors to adjust the draft annual plan for the following. We'd like to request that the council heritage team be restored to its pre-COVID staffing levels and make adjustment to the funding accordingly. The council deferred from filling a heritage team vacancy due to the financial influence of COVID. We're requesting that vacant position be filled. It has been our experience that the heritage team's expertise is required both internally and externally. We just draw your attention to our public forum presentations recently, where we noted a lack of heritage team input and advice on CC reports. We consider the heritage team's work will increase as the government's intention to intensify our city will place additional strain on preserving our heritage. Due to the government measures, we face a real prospect of significant loss of heritage which would qualify but has not yet been assessed for protection by the heritage team. We consider the district plan is not yet representative of our heritage, and extra effort needs to be made to rectify this. We also remind the councillors that some years ago we did a study and we found that only 0.25% of the total building stock is actually scheduled or protected under the district scheme. So literally heritage protection is rare. In addition, on the heritage incentive grants, the tangible fund, we request that it be reinstated back to its previous raised or reinstated back to its previous levels, approximately at minimum about $800,000 to $900,000. By doing so, it brings it to what we consider operational parity. We consider there's an imbalance because the grants for applications for built heritage are more cash intensive than those for intangible heritage. So to bring back parity in the way of an effect, and we really need to raise that grant, and that also empowers the heritage team to be less reactive and more assertive in protecting our heritage. We're arguing that both funds are important and should be supported to be effective. It's not really a case of one or the other. So we request that it be brought up to its pre-COVID levels. In addition, we request that the cemetery repair fund be reinstated. The council, as you're well aware, has a specialist cemetery team, and in the past we've done public presentations commending their work. Since you have a team already in operation, it is really a good idea to supplement their work by reinstating the repair fund for that work to be done. In addition, there is a bill before Parliament which will very likely direct the council to take responsibility for cemetery maintenance. Setting aside funds for the repair now is really preparing for the inevitable. As regards the Robert McDougall, the deferment, we have concerns to make sure that the gallery is weathertight so there's no chance of any of the heritage material being damaged by the deferment. And we couldn't find any reference to reports, so we ask if no report exists, could the councillors seek one before making the final decision? One of precaution. We support the funds set aside for the provincial council buildings. We just ask that a lasting solution on the future of these important buildings be sought. We know it's complex, but I'm sure, as the residents will agree, a lasting solution is required and it's necessary. General comments. We endorse the draft plan in relation to what is proposed. We're very pleased about the Cunningham House renewal project. We consider the wayfinding project, we've seen the initial installations, and we think it's a great program, so we look forward to its running down. We just draw attention that you've got the Sexton's House renewal. We're really pleased this is proposed. We just really need assurance that the building will be made very secure before it starts. We've had instances of the case in the start where the buildings have been broken into and been damaged before the final decision about their future is. So we'd ask to be made secure. Otherwise, we're very happy with the plan. Any questions? I've got one other submission coming up on the vacant land renewal.
I was going to ask you about the this bill before Parliament, and I'm sorry, I should have looked it up before I came down, but what is the legislation and what track is it on?
My understanding before Parliament, there's some legislation on cemeteries, and I think I've forgotten the full land term. It's been entered into the system, and it's somewhere in the parliamentary system. You'll be more aware of what happens on some legislation goes on and goes slow. And I think the council has made submissions on it.
Right.
So I don't know the progress on it.
Okay, I will have a look for it.
I
There
mean,
might be another unfunded mandate coming our way. But I mean, just having spent, you know, sort of the lead up to Anzac Day with the New Zealand Remembrance Army, you know, I you know, and you can't help but look around some of those, and you know that there aren't family members to fix the graves, headstones rather, and it does need a very strategic approach. But I think it's more of a community to a community involvement is going to be required as well. But as you say, we've got an amazing Sexton team and specialist cemetery team as well. So, all right. Any other questions? Have councillors got questions? That was a general commentary. Okay. Look, thank you very much. And you've got the proposal to increase rates on vacant central city land.
yes, apologies for the type. It's not a Freudian slip, but vacant land removal. We just request that on consideration of the provision be included with discretion for where heritage and character buildings are a part of the area. And the reason for that is that on some vacant sites that are next door to a heritage building or within a block, it's really a case, could we include the variable rate as part of an ongoing management package? So it's one tool within the package. And the reason in some cases, I think it would probably be more appropriate where it's an empty vacant space and where in working with the owner, the land may be landscaped as opposed to a commercial car park placed in the centre of it. So it's really a case of can we manage the whole process together, and that's part of a total package. I'm aware of cases where issues could have been resolved by working with the owner, or in some cases enforcement had moved in and we wouldn't have had the eyesore. I mean, I won't name the building, where there was some graffiti which was getting a bit out of hand, and finally council enforcement moved in, and the process of rectifying that, making the building secure, actually improved the sight of the building until the solution's found for that building. So it's really a case, can we have that discretion moved in? And the council management executive put a whole solution in to manage it, going from working with the owner, incentives, etc., through to that being the stick that encouraged them to do it. So that's where we come from to manage that process, which I think is important for the CBD.
Yeah, so a collaborative discretionary approach.
The council used to, if you recall, post-Sarah, we had that special unit that was based on the corner on Colombo Street, which I thought was really, really good. It's a shame that it was disestablished and absorbed back into the council because it was spoken very highly with the people who were dealing with it. Myself had interactions with it, they were very good.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. But thank you for that. Has anyone got any questions? No, that's good. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated. Right.